Morning Vikings. Hello and welcome into the Sunday morning of the Minnesota Vikings Week 10 matchup with the Los Angeles Chargers, which will be played in LA, so we have to wait for a 4:25 kickoff time, which is always brutal when you're playing on the West Coast. There is a lot of time to kill today. If you are new here or you missed last week's Sunday upload, this is my lazy Sunday, relaxed, off the script, no real talking points to deliver regarding Minnesota football. So welcome in. I hope you enjoy. Got some good feedback on the last video. This is just me and you having an organic conversation, rattling off some thoughts. I want to begin really quick with the Minnesota Golden Gophers as I sit here and enjoy some fresh hazelnut coffee, which is so good. The Minnesota Golden Gophers yesterday, as I alluded to in yesterday's upload to open the video, I was real excited about the possibility of beating Iowa. It felt like a really good opportunity this year. But once again, PJ Fleck under-delivers. Tanner Morgan is not that guy, and we fall to 0-5 against Iowa, during the PJ Fleck era in Iowa, where we haven't won since, I believe, 1999, and we haven't beaten Iowa since 2014, and I'm just tired of the disappointment with this football team. So I don't know. I mean, at least PJ Fleck has another 7 years to figure it out, right, with that contract extension. Maybe eventually he'll learn how to beat Iowa. It seems like they just always beat themselves. First and foremost, my takeaway from that game is Tanner Morgan needs to be benched. I am tired of the scared, timid, conservative football that is played with that team with him at the quarterback position. I don't know if it's Sanford that's ruined him, or it's just the fact that he doesn't have NFL caliber talent at the wide receiver position anymore that kind of saved his ass in 2019. You know, maybe that wasn't a product of Tanner Morgan being good. Maybe that was just a product of the fact that you had two NFL caliber ready wide receivers in Rashad Bateman and Tyler Johnson at the time. And, you know, we saw how the offense went last year with Sanford, even though we had Rashad Bateman, who still put up respectable numbers when he was available. And then he's wisely opted out towards the end of the season. So I don't know. I'm going to make the resolution that I am not going to watch any more Gophers football as long as Tanner Morgan is the starting quarterback of this team. I'm just done. I'm just done with it. It's too painful to watch, especially at the end of that game last night. So, and if they make a quarterback change, I will come back. And if they don't, then I will see you next season when they will be forced to make a change, because I believe Tanner Morgan is out of eligibility. Thank God. And then fire Sanford as well. Also, piggybacking off of that, we turn over to the Minnesota Vikings game today against the Chargers. And I couldn't help but think to myself last night during the Gophers game, where they're just, okay, we're going to get in the red zone. Here's a field goal. We're getting to the red zone. Here's a field goal. Just what is it with Minnesota football where they absolutely refuse to grow a set and take advantage of the other team's mistakes, misfortunes, and flaws, put the pedal on the metal, and be aggressive? They just play to lose. It's scared, timid, conservative bullshit football that will not work unless the year on the calendar says 1992. So I'm setting myself up for disappointment today, even though this whole week Clint Kubiak has talked about how they need to get Justin Jefferson the ball more. And this isn't some, enigma that has plagued the Minnesota Vikings for the entirety of the season. This is just some recent occurrence with them, because Justin Jefferson was getting peppered with targets early on in the season, when Kirk Cousins was having his moment in the sun of the MVP conversation, if you will. I mean, that feels like it was years ago when we were talking about that. But, after the Seattle game, we were all like, is Kirk having an MVP season? And then that all whittled away in an instant. And his statistics have just been pedestrian at best for the last couple of games, less than 200 yards passing. And they've just walked away from what works. They always develop a formula where the offense clicks, it churns, it attacks downfields, it gains yards and puts points on the board. And they're like, okay, that's enough of that. We can't have that. That is not Minnesota football. Minnesota football is handoff, punt, and then a field goal at the end because we're a bunch of cowards. So I'm setting myself up for disappointment today based off of what I saw yesterday, because the two feel like very similar entities when it comes to how they approach the game of football and offensive philosophies. As far as the Chargers go, this is the game that I picked. If you remember, a lot of you are new here, so you probably don't. Click through to the channel, go to the 2021 Vikings season playlist. You'll see a video that I made after the Detroit Lions game where I was like, okay, that sucked. How is the rest of the season going to play out? And I picked each game remaining on the schedule for a win or a loss. So far, I am 100% correct. I picked the Panthers game to be a win. I picked the Cowboys and the Ravens to be losses. This was where I got to the schedule and I was like, okay, if we're going to upset anybody that isn't a division rival, I feel like it can be this game. We'll walk into a place where there aren't a lot of Chargers fans anyway. Minnesota Vikings fans travel very well, and I believe that we'd be able to pull off an upset because there wouldn't be a whole lot of home field advantage for the Los Angeles Chargers in SoFi Stadium. So I predicted that this would be an upset a month ago. I don't know how good I feel about that prediction as we sit here Sunday morning, however many hours away from kickoff we are. I don't feel good about it because, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen against a defense that has just been ravaged with injury and, COVID-19 protocol. We at the beginning of the season felt really good, as I've said ad nauseum about this defense. Patrick Peterson, Anthony Barr, Michael Pierce, Danielle Hunter. We're getting all these guys back, right? And now, today, we have none of them. They are all unavailable for whatever reason it may be. Michael Pierce yesterday, as an aside, if you haven't heard this news yet, was placed on IR. So he's going to miss another 3 to 4 games. And it feels like I don't want to say that was a bad contract signing when it happened, because, the opt-out year doesn't count. But it feels like we just can't win, with these free agent signings because Patrick Peterson is going to be on the 3-week IR until next week's game. And then, Michael Pierce, he's gone. Anthony Barr, I don't know what his deal is. This clearly isn't going to be a long-term thing, hopefully, but the dude just can't stay healthy. And then Danielle Hunter is gone for the second season in a row, and I don't feel confident. So I know a lot of you guys, as you've said in the comments, are really hoping for Mike Zimmer to get shit canned and Rick Spielman to go, and I have been an advocate for those things as well. Don't be upset when those things don't happen this week, because I don't believe that unless we get blown out 73-0, no changes will be made, because this team is disaster-proofed, and they've designed it that way on purpose, where there's enough talent to accidentally make all of your games close and steal 1 or 2. From the opposition here and there every now and then. This is definitely a game that the Minnesota Vikings can walk into and be like, hey, you guys all doubted us. We're here to prove you wrong. Check out the scoreboard. We just beat the Chargers, who are likely going to the playoffs by this, whatever here. And it's not that they haven't done the right things. They win, the turnover battle more often than not. They just can't capitalize. It comes down today, which offense is going to be more unafraid to put points on the board. And I think that that's what we need to pay attention to. So I have confidence in the Chargers offense because it's led by a quarterback who believes in himself. The team believes in him, and they unleash him to do the things that he does, which is why he won Rookie of the Year last year over Justin Jefferson, if you all remember that conversation and battle from 2020. So we'll see. Is Kirk Cousins going to play like the $45 million man that he's going to be next year? Or is Justin Jefferson going to better him and be like, hey, that's a nice contract number you got there. It would be ashamed if somebody earned more than you on his next deal, because I don't know. I think if I were picking quarterbacks right now, even from just a 1-game standpoint, I'd probably take Justin Herbert over Kirk Cousins. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to go enjoy my coffee, I guess, for the rest of the day, because we got a long time to wait for kickoff. I guess I'll play some Xbox. If you guys are Skyrim players, I'm going to check out the anniversary update and see how that is, and then maybe log in some Destiny 2. Still waiting on Halo Infinite to come out, signed into Game Pass, because I think that they're allowing for early installs on that. So, quick aside, that's what I do with my free time, is I do a lot of gaming. So, all right, that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I will see you later tonight for the post-game video, and no matter the outcome, and then we'll have a conversation then. And then tomorrow is the day after Los Angeles, so check that out as well. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.